Welcome to the Live Your Adventure podcast, a place for stories, ideas, and conversations that challenge you to live with intention and create an adventure that's truly your own. Let's go. Hello, and welcome to another adventure of the Live Your Adventure podcast. I'm your host, Steve Hand. Adventure is a decision, and it often starts as a personal one, but it doesn't necessarily stay personal for long. One of the biggest myths about adventure is that you have to figure it out all on your own. The gear, the confidence, the courage, the first step. In reality, community changes everything. Today's episode was recorded at the 207 Overland Cabin Fever Reliever event, a gathering of people brought together by a shared curiosity, a willingness to learn, and a desire to live more intentionally. You'll hear from the founder of 207 Overland, some of their trail leaders and ambassadors, and sponsors who play a role in building a space where adventure feels a little more possible, especially when you're just getting started. Because when you find your people, the path forward becomes clearer, and adventure stops feeling like something you have to carry alone. Sit back and listen as we speak with, I think, 8 different folks, or maybe 9, during the next 40 or 50 minutes. Let's go. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Live Your Adventure podcast. I'm your host, Steve Hand, and I'm here today at the 207 Overland Cabin Fever Reliever. And I'm here with Justin Fickett. He is the founder and, I guess, leader of 207 Overland. And so Live Your Adventure is all about getting out and pushing your comfort zone, finding community, finding friends to do stuff, and to live outside of what I call comfort, because comfort is the enemy. And so with that, I'm going to hand it over to Justin and tell us a little bit about yourself and how we came about having 207 Overland.
Yeah, well, first, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I have been doing this way before it was called overlanding. Back then it was just, exploring in the woods, wheeling, jeeping, car camping, whatever you wanted to call it. But it's been a passion of mine ever since I could get behind the wheel of something. So this has been kind of a natural progression for me, and I have a lot of fun doing it.
Cool. So this year with 207 Overland, you have a lot of events going on. It seems like it's your biggest year yet. Tell us a little bit, how many members or how many trips are you doing this year?
This year, right now, we have somewhere in the high 20s, 25, 26 trips on the schedule. We're always looking to add more because they are all extremely popular and they book up quick. So we're always expanding and going in any direction we can to do that. Cool.
And this Cabin Fever Reliever is kind of like your kickoff event for the season?
Yeah, it's the big kickoff. Listen, living in Maine, especially the further up you go, we get spring a little bit later than most of the nation. So people are itching to get out, and this is the best time and a really great place to get together and kick off the season for us.
Cool. And I think you've got something else called Destination Extreme?
Yeah, so in addition to our regular trips in Maine, we've got something called Destination Extreme. That's more of the long-range, international, very intentional, very, the original definition of overlanding, how the Australians used to call it, and so on and so forth. And those trips are, they're more than just a weekend. They're a week or more at a time that you're out experiencing things in places that you wouldn't normally get to see, just staying in your backyard.
Cool. That's a really cool thing. I just found 207 Overland last year. I've been doing trips all over the country for, the last 15 or 20 years. I got my wife into it 2 years ago, and I took her across the country, and she was like, wow, there's so much to see. And I'm getting ready for a great season this year. So you have a slogan you've kind of put out there recently that I love. And I've mentioned it on one of my other podcasts with somebody else the other day. You're calling it No More Someday.
Yeah.
Tell me what that means to you.
So for me, No More Someday is about not making the excuse that we always fall into. Yeah, I'll do that next summer, or that looks cool, I'll get into it eventually. We're all stuck in our cycle of 9 to 5, go to work, come home, do something locally on the weekend, and then that's it. And you're back to the daily grind again on Monday. But No More Sunday means take the plunge, get out there and experience this for yourself. There's a certain disconnect, a mental reset that happens in the woods when you're sitting in front of a crackling campfire with no cell phone reception, that it heals you. You go back to work on Monday feeling refreshed, and that's kind of what No More Sunday is about, is actually saying, yes, let's do it.
I love it. I love it. So the question we ask everybody on our podcast is, what does adventure mean to you? And our whole goal is that my adventure is different than yours. And it could be, one person's could be extreme and one person's could be somewhat minimal. It could be climbing Everest or climbing the local hill is a definition of adventure to any given person. So for Justin Fickett, what does adventure mean to you?
For me, I would say it simply means seeing something new, getting beyond your comfort zone, whether that means a new campsite, a new view, getting to experience a new culture that you wouldn't have previously. That's what adventure is to me.
Cool. So as the day goes on here, I'm going to be chatting with some of your ambassadors. You've got the ambassadors program.
Yeah.
Tell me about the ambassadors.
So we've got two levels. So I've got my trail leaders, and they're the ones that are actually out there, running the trips for us. They have the experience, they've got the knowledge. The ambassadors are right up there with them as well, and they're kind of like the 207 cheerleaders, if you will. So they know a lot about the organization, about the values and the things that we stand for, and they're just really great people too, to have on the trips, to meet out in general too.
Cool. Yeah. And you've got a few sponsors today for the event. You want to call out any of those?
Absolutely. So our big one, of course, is Rack Attack. They're the ones hosting. Just about anything you need for overlanding, they can get it, or they've got it in the store. They treat our members really good, so if you're a member, they give you discounts on their products in stock. We've also got Jetboil attending here as well. Really awesome guys. We're doing a trip with them next month that I can't wait for. We've got Tread Lightly's here as well. And then we've got Expedition Off-Road Development. All great guys, and really an up-and-coming company there that I'm really looking forward to seeing.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for joining us and kicking this off, Justin. This is an amazing event. I'm really glad to be a member of the group now, and I look forward to chatting to the ambassadors and some of the sponsors as the day goes on here. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So we're back here at the 207 Overland Cabin Fever Reliever. I've got one of the sponsors with me. It's Casey Cool from Expedition Off-Road Development. And we're gonna ask him a few questions. So Casey, tell me, welcome. Number one, welcome. Thanks for sitting down for a few minutes with us. Tell us a little bit about yourself and Expedition Off-Road Development.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for coming out here for this awesome event. Yes, I'm Casey with Expedition Off-Road Development. It was mainly started because I have a full-size truck. I have a Ram, and the market is very limited, and I have somewhat of a skill to design and build my own products. So I wanted to be able to have, give the option to people, whatever I build, they can also purchase it themselves. And I have a background in manufacturing, which is also my passion. So be able to design and manufacture as much as we can in-house is what we really try to strive for. So that's what we offer.
Cool. So I'm in that same ballpark. I've got this Jeep behind me today, but my true overland rig is an F-250.
Oh, nice!
So
awesome.
I may be reaching out to you if you're catering to the full size crowd.
Yes, sir. I am.
That's I definitely may be reaching out that way.
Perfect. Yeah.
That way. So what kind of overland trips have you done?
So I've got a nice core group of friends that we go out overlanding. It's mainly been local trips, like around New Hampshire, northern New Hampshire, around like Berlin, northern Maine as well, the North Maine woods. We go out at least once a year. That's our goal. For the past 3 years, we've been going together, and we all have our own roles. We have got a navigator, we've got a cook, we've got a mechanic, and we just all mesh well together, and it's just a great time. And yeah, we're trying to incorporate more of our family members to come out with us.
Yeah, it's a lot about community. The title, I guess I'd call it, for today's episode is actually called The Adventure Community.
Oh, awesome.
And what you just talked about, you defined community right there, which
yeah,
is...
absolutely. You got to share the experience with others, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're here as a sponsor today with 207 Overland. Tell me a little bit about your thoughts on 207 Overland and the community they're building.
They're very community driven, is what we like too. Our group of friends, we were met in a community as well, and now we're best friends. And so we continue to go to communities like this to also meet and grow, to get together.
Awesome. And this is a dog-friendly event. If you just heard the dogs barking in the background, which is part of the community.
Exactly.
So the question we ask everybody is for you to, what does adventure mean to you?
Adventure for me is going to a destination, mainly a planned destination that I haven't been to yet. But it's the whole thing, from planning to executing the plan, and then even after the adventure, what could be done differently? What could have made our lives a little easier? And what gear did I not use? So I can save some space and not bring it again the next time. So all that encompasses an adventure for me. The destination, yes, that's part of it, but it's everything. That's the whole adventure.
Yeah, so what you just said kind of reminded me of a quote from have you heard of Scott Brady?
Yes.
Yeah, Scott Brady, one of his quotes is your rig's not complete when you've added the last thing. It's complete when you've removed the last thing you don't need.
Oh, yes.
Or something like that. So
I remember him saying that.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. So if people want to get a hold of you and the folks at Expedition Off-Road Development, where can they find you?
So you can find us on Instagram. It is EOD Upfitters. And then on Facebook, it's Expedition Off-Road Development. We're primarily on those two channels. I'm mainly on the Instagram account, and I post on stories daily, and you kind of get to see the background of what we do on EOD. So you'll come along in the shop. I've got my dog, Jack. He's the shop supervisor, so you'll be able to see him in some of the videos. And then, on some of our adventures as well, you'll see us on there.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today, Casey, and I'm going to get a few more conversations going here.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, we're back with some more guests here at the 207 Overland Cabin Fever Reliever. I'm here with two of the ambassadors of the program, Sean and Johnny. And we're going to chat a little bit about what it's like to be an ambassador in the program and a little bit about 207 Overland. So I guess I'll start with you, Johnny. Tell us a little bit about how long you've been involved with 207 Overland.
Well, I'm one of the newer ones, I guess I could say. 2 years, about, since I met Sean. She kind of dragged me into it. Unwillingly. No,
So,
no, definitely.
so Sean, how long have you been involved in 207 Overland?
Quite a few years now, maybe at least 4.
Okay.
Time kind of gets away from you, so I've been here for a while now.
Cool. What brought you in?
When I bought my 4Runner, I started seeing all the cool things people were doing with them, and I just knew I wanted to get involved, and I got myself on a trip, and it's kind of snowballed from there.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. So, what's it like being an ambassador? What's the role of an ambassador for 207 Overland?
Well, to be fair, we are trail leaders.
Okay.
So
okay,
I
next
guess we're
step
the
up.
ultimate
Yeah, that's
ambassador, right?
Justin did mention when I was talking to him earlier, there's 2 levels. There's ambassadors and there's trail leaders. So.
But I mean, at the end of the day, you're doing both,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
We're the ones that make people take all the wrong turns.
yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Speak for yourself. No. But I mean, I think a lot of it is just talking to people about the adventure and, what fun we have, what we do, and getting people involved, answering questions, just making it a place that's open and welcoming and just a place to have a good time with people that want to do the same.
Yeah, definitely catering to people of all different levels to make sure whether you've still got a stock vehicle with just a new set of BFGs on it and you want to get it dirty, but anywhere from any of these top tier ones where it looks like they've clicked every box on the options.
You hit on something which is key to this podcast, and it's really around adventure in that everybody defines adventure separately and differently. And one could be that they need to climb Everest or go to the most remote location on Earth, and the other could be that they're just ready to go out the back door for a short jaunt.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, adventure is taking your everyday life and then busting out that box and going someplace that makes you happy and testing yourself in so many different ways and just forgetting about all those worries for a little bit and saying, I'm going to do something that's challenging.
Oh, you've hit on some great ones there. That is awesome. So what do either of you say to someone that's on the fence? They've thought about going out. I've talked to a few people that have walked by and talked to me this morning about, I'm thinking about it. I haven't gotten out there yet. I don't really want to go alone. So what do you say to someone?
No more someday.
Yeah. Live in the present, do it now. Because, let's see, I'm 40 this year, so it's just, you'll regret not doing it. And you're going to meet people and do things, and like I said, challenge yourself and hit that point of adventure.
And you don't need all the things. When I started, I slept in the back of the 4Runner on an air mattress with a cooler, and it was just getting out there and unwinding and having fun. And sometimes that first step is the scariest, but what's great about this community is people are more than happy to go with you, to explain anything, to lend you anything, just so that you can go out and enjoy and not feel like there's something holding you back.
That is cool. So tell us about, I guess, a favorite or most challenging adventure that you've been on, a trip, however you want to go about it.
Well, lots and lots of favorites. Our most challenging one was last year. We led a trip up, and I think we winched up that mountain for about 3 hours. So it was very challenging, but it was so rewarding that once we got to the top of that mountain and climbed the watchtower and saw out to nothing, it was like, wow, we did that. That was awesome. But that was definitely the most challenging, I would say.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, another one would have been our another trip we did last year, which was going down to the Outer Banks, and there wasn't a day that was under 35-mile-an-hour winds. So every day was waking up with sand in places you didn't know, and going out and getting sandblasted and figuring out, okay, so how are we going to prepare our meal today without grinding down our teeth?
Great. And so you've already, to some extent, answered one of the questions, but we ask the same question to every guest to wrap up each session, and it's, how do you define adventure? So you started to mention it, Johnny, so we'll start with Sean. Sean, how do you define adventure?
For me, it is, unconnecting from everyday life, like getting out. Maybe there's no service, that's fine with me. I just want to get out with the people I love, my good friends, and just enjoying all that usually Maine can offer. We go out in Maine a lot, and it's just a nice way to reconnect and kind of just reset. And I think for me, adventure is just getting out there and decompressing and enjoying everything, and you have a smile plastered on your face the whole time.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely a mindset where you go, we all know life's not always easy. So we want to get ourselves to a point where we're doing something for ourselves. An adventure is something you go out and you're doing for yourself. You're seeking, whether you want to learn about yourself, learn about others, or the area you're in, and just challenge yourself and do it with that smile on your face. Because someone once said to me, you don't remember all the good times. It's those times when you're suffering also, and things are hard, and you're out there challenging, and you're in that adventure. You're gonna remember those times, and you're gonna be like, yeah, because that's top tier level happiness and experience right there. You're gonna remember it, and you're gonna be like, yeah, that was worth it.
Cool. So if anybody wants to see any of these adventures or whatever, I know 207 Overland has their stuff, but do you guys have anything you're putting out there on social media at all that you'd want to share?
Not yet.
If you don't, that's- if you don't, that's fine.
We're working on some
We're
projects.
working on some things, so
Okay.
always keep up with 207 Overland. And Justin does an amazing venture.
He does.
And he keeps everything going, and he is definitely the backbone of this. So
Yeah.
definitely tie in with all the 207 Overland social media. And us trail leaders, we do have our side things, but it all flows through 207. You will see it. So keep up with that, and we will definitely...
We do chronicle Betty's adventures on
Yeah, yes.
Instagram, though.
Yeah,
so.
you look at her runner on Instagram.
Okay,
And,
cool.
yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much both for joining us. And so this has been Sean and Johnny with us, and we will be following up with some other folks shortly. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for having us.
Okay, we're back, and we have another guest here with us. We've got Dave Ostrovitz. He's an ambassador in the 207 Overland program. And so I'm going to hand it over to Dave. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you to 207 Overland.
Sure. Lifelong car camper. Then I had a camper on Lake Ossipee for about 15 years or so. That kind of got old, and my kids grew up and got away from that. Then I bought a 2015 Tacoma stock. A couple years later, my brother said, "Hey, why don't you start spicing this thing up a little bit?" He's a true off-roader himself, and got me into what was a rooftop tent and a rack and just some basic stuff. And I was doing that, and then got into a little bit deeper into it with this Alu Cab, which is it's a camper that they come from South Africa and made for really like the Serengeti, Australian outback, and they're definitely well overbuilt for Maine and areas like that, but certainly they come in handy. So now I have this really cool setup, but I'm all dressed up but no place to go. And I discovered 207 Overland online and just signed up for a trip. My first trip was the NBOR, the Northern Border Overland Rally in 2022. I took my son on that, and we just had the best time with a bunch of people, and I was hooked with these folks. I felt very safe as a novice with my own vehicle. People always willing to help, mechanically and things like that. I can't turn a screwdriver or a hammer to save my life. I have all the gear to, get me in and out of a good jam. And there are just so many people that are always willing to help. And so, I started with them, started with a couple of trips, 2022, then 23, I got more into it. Now I'm on a trip. I'm a designated chef for that trip, and there's a designated navigator, there's a designated rescue person or a medical person. And it was just like an amazing experience. We went from, it's called the OTAM, and that was the Overland trip across Maine. And that's one of the signature trips for 207 that they do every year. And that went from Rangeley in the western mountains in Maine. And 3 nights later, we're in Lubeck, the easternmost point in the United States. And it was just like, I can't believe what I just saw in 3 nights from mountains to the sea. It was just absolutely unbelievable.
Cool.
So, yeah. And then, I just started coming on so many trips that... and I just love to talk about, my vehicle kind of stands out, as you can tell, and I get a lot of questions about it. I love talking about that, and I love sharing the journey that I'm on, and just trying to see as much of this country as I can. But right now, while I'm still working, Maine, and I've been on some of the bigger trips. I did the first Newfoundland trip, which was absolutely a game-changing experience for me. There's probably 6 or 7 vehicles on that. That was amazing. And then last year we did the Tiger, the most remote road you could drive in North America.
I wanted to go. I've looked at that trip for this coming year, and
Yeah.
it conflicts with other trips I'm on.
Work gets, unfortunately, in life gets in the way of some of these trips, so I just sign up for what I can. But That was just like this surreal experience to be that far north. Late May into June, bays are frozen, rivers are frozen, or they're just bursting with snowmelt, and the northern lights at night was just, again, surreal. And just watching the sun set and rise, and probably it wouldn't really set until almost 11 o'clock at night before the last twilight was gone. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's peaking out again.
I can feel your passion of this. I mean, it was so easy just to keep ribbling along about all the various trips. And one of the things that I kind of gleaned from what you were just saying is exactly what we're calling this episode, the adventure community. Mm-hmm. And I heard you kind of beating around a little bit, but talking about how strong the community is, the friendships, the willingness to help each other. That is key.
Unquestionably, as great as the places that we see and the epic camping spots that we find ourselves in, it just seems to be this commonality. Like, no one's out here. This isn't a group that's looking to bang up vehicles and, hey, that was cool, my thing flipped. That's not this group. A lot of us, this is my daily driver, so it needs to come home.
That is,
it's very important.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
So the question we ask everybody in our podcast is how do you define adventure? And everybody has a different flavor of what adventure means to them, and we've heard some great examples this morning from some other folks. But for yourself, I mean, what does adventure mean to you?
It means seeing something, being at home. I love watching nature programs like a lot of people do on TV, and then having that ability to go to that place, to go to Newfoundland, maybe see an iceberg, maybe see a whale 200 yards off the coast. They're playing and frolicking all day. And epic camping spots on cliffs that just come right out of the ocean. And I just can't believe, when I look back now, and it's only been 4 or 5 years that I've been with 207, all the places that I have been. And all you have to do is just sign up for these trips, and you don't have to have all the stuff and all the whatever. You get a decent little vehicle, stock vehicle, and a tent. Everybody's got everything that you need. So and they're happy to share it.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Dave. I guess I got some prizes going to be coming out here soon, and I got a few more people to speak to. So Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
And you guessed it, we're back with yet another guest. And here we have Kurt Beermeister. He is an ambassador in the 207 Overland program. And Kurt, tell us a little bit about yourself or how you got involved with 207 Overland.
Well, I've been overlanding for years. I would guess probably over 10. And I've been driving with a bunch of different groups, and I've gotten a lot of experience over the years. And then 3-4 years ago, I met Justin, met him online at first, and we talked, and he talked me into coming on a couple of their trips, and I met a great bunch of people. The group is fantastic. Everybody's great. Everybody's welcoming. That's kind of what we always look for, and I think that over the past couple years now, working as an ambassador, sometimes trail leader, I've come to know these people really well, and they're like family. The overlanding community is small, and it's very close-knit, and, everybody knows everybody. And it's kind of a nice thing where, we can just give each other a buzz and say, hey, I'm just thinking about going up to North Main Woods this weekend. What are you doing? And, you can always find 1, 2, 3 people that want to join. And sometimes it gets to, 8, 10 people, and you got to kind of put a damper on it. But the organized rides are awesome in the respect that, you know what you're getting into. And, you as an ambassador or a trail leader, your responsibility is showing those people a good time and showing them what you've experienced over the years. And then that's what I like to pass on is, I have a lot of experience, and I like to show people what they can do and what they're capable of doing, what their rigs are capable of. So it's exciting. I really enjoy it.
Cool. So what you really highlighted there is exactly what we've titled this episode, The Adventure Community, and the strength of the community, the willingness to help each other, to guide each other. So what do you say to somebody that, and I've talked to a few people walking through the event today that are like on the fence. They haven't jumped in, they haven't gone on that first trip. What do you say to someone that is like right on the edge and we just got to get them to join?
Just do it. Really, honestly, come on a trip. Pick the shortest trip that we have. If you're a 2-day trip, and just come out and experience it, and you'll be hooked.
Cool. So we're gonna have some conflict here with some other mics going. But the last question I have for everybody is always, how do you define adventure?
That depends on the day. Adventure to me is just getting out there and trying things. It could be overlanding. It doesn't have to be overlanding. Trying something new and pushing the limits, and challenging your beliefs and what you hold to be true. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different view of that. But again, I like pushing my limits in my comfort zone, whether it's with a vehicle or with other people. I've met people that honestly I wouldn't really talk to otherwise. For whatever reason, they just you see somebody walking down the street and you're like, hey, that's not the type of person that you're like. But then with overlanding, you get to know them and you get to feel that what they're about, and that's what this is all about.
Love it. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and have a great rest of your day, Kurt.
Thank you.
Bye. Well, you guessed it. We're here with another guest. This happens to be one of the sponsors of this event, and we're in the parking lot outside of Rack Attack in Portland, Maine. And, lose my notes. And we're here with Adam Lancaster. So, welcome, Adam.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me, and always good to have this event on a yearly basis.
Yeah, this is an amazing turnout. I mean, there's close to 200 people, I would say, here, and a lot of rigs.
Yeah, I think it's about double what we expected, so that's always good.
That's phenomenal. So tell me a little bit about Rack Attack and your involvement in 207 Overland.
Yeah, so Rack Attack, as a company, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary this year as a company. Rack Attack Maine here, we've been here for just about 3.5-4 years, and we've been just really good partnership with 207 Overland for that entire time. We kind of just all enjoy the same type of things, right? And we've just been really excited to find a group of people that shares the same interest as we do at Rack Attack, and always happy to just get out here every day and enjoy the outdoors, and especially on a day like this with a couple hundred people and 100 rigs opened up.
Yeah. So this episode is titled The Adventure Community. I've loved the community I'm seeing here today, but tell me what you think about the community and the support the community provides Rack Attack.
Yeah, I think the community is great because, we need to just keep the feeling of getting people outdoors, adventuring, getting deep into the woods, alive. And I mean, just to see over the last couple of years since I've been introduced to this 207 Overland group, and since Rack Attack has really just kind of opened up to them, these guys are really supporting what everybody needs to be doing, is just getting out, getting outdoors, get a little bit uncomfortable outside, open your rig up, Been really happy to see this community grow, and I really don't see any limit to how big these guys can go.
Yeah, absolutely. So the key question we ask everybody is, how do you define adventure? And I'll preface that with, for me, adventure is different than the next person. My adventure is different than yours. Some people it's overlanding, some people it's mountain biking, some people it's rock climbing, but it's also, the person overlanding could be just new and they're only taking baby steps to just enter it. And the next person, it could be that they're going to go to Ushuaia or something just amazing. So for you, how do you define adventure?
Yeah, the way I define adventure for me, myself, is just to get a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I like to You can see by my Impreza, have the car that nobody thought you could do things with. I like to go as far as I can. Adventure for me and my family is just going somewhere we've never been with a little bit of a plan, but not too much, so we can just kind of be surprised by what does happen, kind of like today. So that's what it really means, adventure for me. But like you said, adventure is different for everybody. But for me, I like to be a little bit uncomfortable and kind of see how far we can go out in the woods.
Well, so your comment there is key, because one of our taglines is "Comfort is the enemy."
Yeah, I think that's a great way to look at it, right? We should all get a little bit uncomfortable, you know? No
Yeah.
better way to do that than get as far in the woods as possible.
Absolutely. So to close it out, how can people get a hold of Rack Attack if they need something for their vehicle or just want to come visit? How do they learn more about Rack Attack?
Yeah, we appreciate it. So, the first thing we could do is just go head over to rackattack.com. That's going to kind of just show you everything that we do. We have a nice installation gallery of all the vehicles we've installed all these fun things on. So check out rackattack.com. For every Rack Attack, but especially us, please make sure you read our Google reviews. We strive our best to keep them as high as possible, because these are the people that really feed into what we do. So head over to rackattack.com. You can check us out on Instagram, on Facebook, just rackattack.com. And you might find us sneaking in an overland group here and there on social media. I'm sure we're out there. So
Awesome.
And you can come into any one of our stores. We've got 46 stores in North America.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Adam. This has been a great event. Awesome to have you sponsoring it.
Yeah.
And I think I've got a few more people to talk to this afternoon. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Okay, we are back, and we are with another sponsor of today's event. Again, we're at the 207 Overland Cabin Fever Reliever. And I am now here with a representative from Jetboil, Garrett Venata. Garrett, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Awesome. So I'm not sure how long you've been with Jetboil, but give us a little bit about Jetboil and your involvement with 207 Overland.
Sure. So I'm the director of operations for Jetboil, as well as our Old Town fishing kayak canoe business. And I've been up there for about 4 years in Old Town. And, these events are just great. A great opportunity to see like 100 plus vehicles, I think, here today.
Yeah, I think there had to have been 200 people here.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was great.
Just crazy. And we had a beautiful day for it. That helped.
Little breezy.
That's okay. Yeah. It's still early, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I understand there's another event coming up in here a few weeks between 207 Overland and Jetboil. What's going on?
Yeah, May 1st up at the Old Town facility where we actually bring in overlanders. We've had 35, 40 vehicles, I think, up there. They come in, we give them a tour of our innovation center, kind of show them how we design and develop new Jetboil products, and also take a tour of the Old Town kayak and canoe manufacturing operation. So it's kind of a cool way to see kind of both parts of the businesses we have up there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so for folks that might be listening to this that have no idea what Jetboil is, tell us a little bit about what Jetboil is providing.
Sure. Jetboil is a camping stove. Basically, we have several different varieties of stoves. We have 3 main levels, though. We have a base camp system, which is great for overlanding because it's super compact. It's a 2-burner stove. It folds up into a system in its own sort of nice dust-proof bag, right, for the dusty back roads that we travel. And then we also have fast boil stoves, really made for boiling water, using in like your dehydrated food packages or making coffee in the morning. Super important, right, to get up and get a good hot cup of coffee. And then we have our precision cook system, which has more simmer control, right? So you can actually cook a meal in your stove. And actually, both the fast boil and the precision cook stoves we've actually just redesigned over the last 2 years. So they're pretty exciting products.
Awesome. I know I've got a few different ways to heat up water and cook, but I know when I'm up north or out around the country, I'm always grabbing my Jetboil so I can do my quick press pot in the morning.
Absolutely, right. Yep.
Everybody's got their preferred method. For me, it's the press pot when I'm out camping.
Well, we kind of cover, we have that debate at work all the time, right, with the engineers. It's kind of funny because some people like French press, some people like pour over coffees. I was talking to a guy earlier, instant coffee, but you can get that hot water for any one of those applications right out of one of the Jetboil stoves.
Awesome. That is great. So the key question we ask everybody is how they define adventure. For everybody, it's different. We're all on a different path in our lives. We're all got different stuff going on. We've all got different commitments. So for yourself, how do you define adventure?
Well, that's a great question. For me, it's just really getting out and exploring new areas, finding new places to do. And Maine's a really great place for that. It's amazing. The things that I've learned, I've really been doing this overlanding for like 2 years now, but there are so many different spaces around the state of Maine that are just totally different. I spent a couple weekends up in Down East Maine last year around the Blueberry Barrens. Totally different than going up to Aroostook County or the Western Mountains or down here in southern Maine. Also traveling around different parts of New England, right? And you can just continue to expand beyond that. So it's really just enjoying going out, seeing new sights, and seeing different parts of the world.
Yeah, I totally concur with all of that. So I'm looking forward to. I'll probably see you again.
Sure, hopefully.
For May 1st, because I'm camping that weekend.
Awesome.
Is anybody from your team coming out camping?
Yeah, so I know we have at least one of our engineers will be coming along as well. The last couple of years, we've had 2 or 3 of them join us. So as we get closer, we'll find out. But yeah, typically we have. It's actually a great opportunity to share, kind of what type of gear people have in their own vehicles. But also, we kind of share back and forth, right, on new ideas.
Awesome. So I guess to close it out, if folks want to learn more about Jetboil, if they want to see what might be going on social, how do people keep in touch with what Jetboil has going on?
Sure, you can certainly look at all of our products on jetboil.com. That's a pretty easy link to get to. We're all over social media, Facebook, Instagram. You can find us there just by searching for Jetboil.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Garrett. Thanks for being a sponsor for the 207 Overland event, and look forward to seeing you in a few weeks. Thank you.
Great, sounds good. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Okay, we are here with one more person here at 207 Overland's Cabin Fever Reliever. One of the active groups here was Tread Lightly, and I'm here with Aaron Lawrence from Tread Lightly. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you got a cool bright orange Jeep sitting here, all lettered up with the Tread Lightly logos. It looks good.
Yeah. We picked orange because we like to go out during hunting season, and
yes,
and it's all about safety.
Absolutely. So we're here enjoying this event. It's a great sunny day here in April in Maine. Tell us a little bit about Tread Lightly and your involvement with 207 Overland.
Sure. So Tread Lightly is a nonprofit organization that basically tries to help minimize the impact and preserve access to the spaces we like to explore with these rigs, with these overlanding rigs, but all motorized recreation is what it's based around. And I was involved with Leave No Trace for 25 years teaching trainer courses as a master trainer there. And when my wife and I, about 10 years ago, started to get into overlanding, we started seeing these campsites and seeing the abuse of the trails and the trash. Is a big difference between teaching Leave No Trace for backpacking, because you're limited on how much trash you can bring out into the backcountry and how much damage you can do. And it was really sad to see, and seeing trails shut down really was a call to action to get involved. And that was 4 or 5 years ago, where I started taking the trainings, took the master trainer course, and that's when I approached Justin with 207 and saying, hey, how can we get Tread Lightly out here? Because they're out west. That's where the majority of their presence is, and that's where a lot of the project happens. We don't even have the opportunity to see many projects in action here to learn from, because you have to drive 30 hours to get there. So Justin was all about it. He was excited to get us on board, and couldn't have been more supportive. So it was an exciting partnership there, and we've been doing 2 trainer courses a year, which is a train the trainer type of course, where we're training people how to do these types of awareness workshops and lead trainings of their own.
So that's a perfect one. I myself I joined Tread Lightly last year. Definitely looking at doing a training at some point here. What does the training class entail? How much commitment is it for somebody?
Well, we do ours. The minimum requirement is 8 hours of classroom. That's the basic requirement. But I don't like the word classroom. We like the outdoor classroom, right? Because there's no better place to learn when you're directly applying it. And we're in camp. So what we do is we camp out for a couple nights. It's optional whether or not people want to come in on a Friday night, but we start Saturday morning and we go 6 or 7 hours and we see how people are doing. If we're losing people because it's chilly or conditions aren't ideal, then we pick up the next morning, Sunday morning, and then what we typically do is we ride through a bunch of dispersed campsites on the way out back into civilization, and we clean up as we go. And we can fill 1 or 2 trailers easily from these sites, and people get a big sense of accomplishment from that alone. When we see that, and then we're also, as we're walking through campsites and other people are asking us what we're doing as we're cleaning, we're spreading awareness, and the newfound skills that these folks learned during the 8 hours of classroom time. They're doing their elevator speech on what Tread Lightly is, and they're already practicing it. They're putting it into action, which is pretty cool to see on such a quick turnaround.
Cool. Excellent. So the key question we ask everyone on our podcast is, how do you define adventure? Everybody has a different definition. They've got a different context. They're at a different spot in their lives, different situations. So for you, how do you define adventure?
I love that question. I think when I think of adventure, I think of you're pushing yourself, right? It's not an adventure if you're doing the same thing you've done before. So a different place, maybe with different people, different conditions. It's been an adventure in the last couple of years learning winter camping and learning to enjoy winter camping. So it's an internal push. You step outside your comfort zone, and to me, that's an adventure.
Awesome. I love that answer. So one of the things we're thinking also about is community. The title of this episode is going to be The Adventure Community. I love what I saw here today. An amazing community, like-minded folks, or whatever. Any thoughts on the community as a whole?
I've been part of a lot of communities. For a little stint there, we did some boating. We inherited this boat, a sailboat, and the boating community was a tight-knit group, people looking out for each other. But this really, when you're sharing meals, sharing time around a campfire, sharing stories, the level of human connection is what defines a community, right? And so the overlanding community, there's just such an eagerness for people to interact and share their builds. Everybody's excited to walk through their build. I'd say this sense of community, what Justin's built with 207 in particular, has brought people together on just such a huge variety of different rides that can appeal to just about everybody.
Awesome. So to wrap this up, if somebody wants to learn more about Tread Lightly, they want to up their game, their skills, as it pertains to our discussion, how do they learn more about Tread Lightly?
Tread Lightly's website is treadlightly.org. That's a great place to get resources. To become a member is a big recommendation, especially here in the Northeast where we have such a minimal presence. If we want more support, more resources, more advocacy, we need members, because those membership dollars go directly towards projects that we can do. If we're talking locally, we just started a Facebook group called Tread Lightly Across New England, where we're going to try to rally people together to do trail cleanups and trail maintenance, and just rally our forces, because there's few of us. We need a spot to meet.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining today, Aaron, and thank you for being involved in 207 Neverland, and have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Appreciate this.
Thanks for listening to the Live Your Adventure podcast. Remember to hit that subscribe button, follow us on social media at Hand Adventures, and for your next adventure, define it, pursue it, and live it.